Hi everybody, this is foXnoMad, and today I want to help you travel smarter. But this video is going to be really geared towards people who want to make YouTube videos, whether you're a travel blogger, travel influencer, and you're just starting your channel. I thought it would be helpful to go over the things that I've learned, and originally I was going to title this video something like 3 reasons or 5 reasons or whatever reasons why making YouTube videos is hard. And then I realized that it would be much more useful and productive for you if I explained what I've learned up until this point. What I've found are the biggest sort of the 4 major areas that you need to cover to make a decent video on YouTube, and how you can prepare to make sure that you get all of those things done so you can quickly grow your channel and hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, which means you can obviously monetize your channel, and there's just so much more you can do when you have 1,000 subscribers. Now you can, and I have watched tutorials from a lot of large channels to see what they do, but I think the reason that I want to do this video now is because when your channel is smaller, there's advice that applies maybe to a smaller channel that when the channel starts to grow, so if you've got 1 million subscribers, I think the advice at that point becomes a little bit different because you've got more subscribers, you've got the audience already, you already made a ton of videos, so you've already got a lot of the technical aspects done. So in the beginning, these are the 4 things that I would tell a beginner, what I've learned over the last 2 years of making YouTube videos. So hopefully this advice will help you if you want to make YouTube videos, whether you want to make them for creative purposes, whether you want to monetize your channel, or you just want to have some fun. So the 4 things that make a good YouTube video fall into one of these 4 categories, and you've got to kind of get all of these categories squared away, and they've all got to kind of come together for you to make a good YouTube video. And the first one is your persona, the second one is the technical aspects of the video, the third one is the story behind the video, and the 4th one is editing all of that together. So in my mind, out of these 4 things, there are 2 things that are essential. That's your persona and that's the story. So the story can take precedence, or your persona can take precedence depending on the kind of channel you want to be, the kind of person you are on camera, and so on. But let me start with the technical aspects, because if you don't get the technical aspects right, you're going to be worrying about that. Or when you're editing, which is the final step, when you're editing, you're not going to be able to put together those things to tell your story or to show off your persona. You're going to have to really be fighting with the footage that you've taken. So the first thing you want to do is really get down the technical aspects of any video before you shoot it. Now, when you're first starting off, that's basic things like framing. Are you in the frame? How does the audio sound? So maybe record a couple of test videos to hear what your audio sounds like in a given room. Is there echo? Is there a lot of noise in the background? Do you need to turn off the air conditioning? So on and so on. See how you look in the light, make sure that the lighting is good. Maybe you want to shoot outside. If you enjoy being outdoors and you have the opportunity to shoot videos outdoors, then do that. Again, the more of the technical aspects that you have sort of squared away, the easier it is going to be for your persona to shine in a video. You want that. You want to be comfortable so that you can show off all of the best parts of you and your story. And the best way, or the easiest way to do that, is to make sure you don't have to worry about, is the microphone close enough to my face, or are there trucks driving by behind me? Is the camera on? Did I leave the microphone on? How do I look in this light? So on and so on. But having said all of that, it's also important to remember there's only so much you can get right. You want to get the audio pretty good, you want to get the video pretty good, but it's not going to always be perfect. Just make sure you have the basics down, because the most important thing, again, is your persona and or the story that you're telling. So you want to make sure that the technical aspects can feed that, the persona and the story.
Technically.
And the way to get better at the technical aspects is to watch online tutorials, and mostly through experience. So every video you make is going to improve one of those 4 categories. So when you watch the video, you might go, oh, that was a really easy shoot. I love the way I look. I love how my personality comes around online. I love all of that part, but the audio just totally sucked. So you know next time that you've got to work a little bit on your audio. You can go over why the audio wasn't so good. You can try to figure out why the audio was causing you problems, but you've got the persona down. Whereas on another video, you might have had some technical issues. The lighting wasn't right. It started raining. The audio, you were worried about the microphone, all kinds of stuff. And that was in the back of your mind. And while that was in the back of your mind, you could see it. You were a little bit stiff on camera. So you know the next time you make a video, you're going to have to sort of figure out the technical aspects, or maybe just be in a more cheerful mood, whatever the technical aspects are, because you know that no video is perfect. So you want to sort of improve on one of those 4 categories with every video that you make. Usually a video you make is going to be good in 2 of those 4 categories. And as you make more videos, you'll start to improve on the other parts. So going to the second point is your persona. Now, assuming that the technical aspects have been sort of cleared away, just the basics really, you're in frame, the audio is good, you're comfortable in the location that you're shooting, you know what you want to say, and you just are being yourself. You don't want to play a character. You don't want to be stiff, which is normal. If you see my early videos, they are pretty cringeworthy because they don't do a really good job of maybe showing off or really representing who I feel I am in real life. So that might be the case for you. But on the other hand, you don't want to play a character either, well, unless you're doing a comedy channel or something like that. But you also don't want to play a character that you see like on TV. So if you watch a lot of travel programs, you'll notice that people are very bubbly and everything is amazing and this is great. And that's fine if that's you. But if that's not you, then I would say just be yourself as opposed to trying to be a character, and don't be too stiff. So it can go one of either 2 ways. You're trying to control yourself too much, or you're trying to project too much of something that doesn't really quite fit your personality. And when those 2 things are off, it will come across on camera and you'll notice that, and it will bother you. People might not resonate with it so well. So what you want to do is try to get your personality across as much as possible. Just try to relax. Just try to talk like you're talking to a friend. Just try to be normal and enjoy making the video. Like, enjoy the process of making videos. Don't think too much about who you are. And once you get the persona thing, once you get who you are in front of the camera down, that's going to be something that's so natural to you that you're not going to have to worry about that with every video as you get better. Once you kind of get comfortable in front of the camera, then that's going to kind of be built in for you as you make videos, as you get better at it, and eventually you will get there and you won't have to worry so much about making sure that your persona is just right. Same thing with the technical aspects. Once you get the basics down, you're going to start to improve a little bit. You might get a better microphone, you might know how to shoot at better angles and so on. But once you get the basics down, you're not going to have to worry about it as much, although the technical issues are always going to kind of be there. The persona one is just you. It's already built in. So once you get that down, you don't have to worry about it too much in your future videos. You just need to make a lot of videos to make sure that who you are is coming across on camera. So the third important aspect of making a good YouTube video is the story. So what is the point of the video? Whatever interests you, whatever you want the story to be, make sure that your video has a story or a point. And it doesn't really have to. I mean, if you don't really want your videos to have a point, you might be able to get away with that if your persona is just so electric and just so attractive, then that might work for you. But in general, you want your videos to have a story. You want them to have a specific point. So what is this video? What is the point of this video? And you can kind of think of that like the title of the video. So before you start shooting a video, you want to think to yourself, what is the title of this video? What am I talking about? This video was going to be the 3 hard things about making YouTube videos, and it turned into the 4 things you can do to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's the story of this video. So you set up the story, you set up the situation, you create the conflict, and you decide how to resolve that conflict. So the situation is you want to get 1,000 subscribers, or you want to make better YouTube videos. The conflict is you don't quite know how to do that. And the resolution is these 4 steps, is sort of getting these things in place so you can make better videos. So the fourth and final thing that makes a good YouTube video is the editing. So you got to put that story together. So if you've got the technical aspects down and you've got the video and the audio looks good, remember, if the audio comes out bad, you're going to have a nightmare in editing. If you don't hit the record button, you're not going to have anything to edit. So you want to get the technical aspects down. Then you want your persona to be really nice, or who you are, because if your persona, if you're very stiff and quiet and worried about being on camera, then you can't really edit around that. So if you're in a bad mood, or if you're just, scared to be in front of the camera, you can't really edit that out or around your video. So you got to get those in place. And if your video has no point, then it's going to be pretty much impossible to edit in a point after the fact. So now you're at the editing point, you've got the first 3 things down. You've got to edit that down into a comprehensive story. And you can go one of 2 ways. Editing is a huge topic. I mean, there's all kinds of software. There's color correcting your videos, which, like, in the beginning of my videos, I didn't even know you had to color correct them, to be honest. Like, I had no idea. I just think I really learned how to use a compressor like 2 weeks ago for audio. There's just so much stuff to learn. But I think the basics are important. So you want to make sure that you're editing things so that the pacing of what you're trying to tell is very good. Is this a slow? Is this a really deep? Is this a really sad? Or maybe, what's the pace of the thing you're telling? Do you want a really quick pace? So do you want a lot of cutting quick stuff? You tend to ramble on. So maybe you got to cut out those rambles, or maybe you go back to a point that you forgot about in the past, in the earlier part of the video. So you need to cut around that. But essentially, you want to find a style that works for you, and you can use any software that you have. You can even do it on your phone. I've seen a lot of great iPhone and Samsung and Android videos. Yeah, I got you, Samsung. I've seen a lot of great videos that are shot on an iPhone. They've been edited on an iPhone. So really, you want to pick what works for you. If you don't really like editing, so I love editing, it's really fun for me. So I've got a lot of the bells and whistles. Like, I spend a lot of time learning how to color correct, how to do all kinds of stuff in Final Cut, and figure out how all that stuff works. I enjoy that process. And for me, part of the enjoyment is being able to show something that's very visually compelling, especially if I'm doing a review or if I'm traveling. I want to sort of try to show you what I'm seeing with my own eyes. Now, for you in your video, if that's not as important for you, or if you don't really care about editing, if it's not really interesting to you, then you might as well just make something that's really simple and to the point. The way you edit a video is part of your persona. So the way you edit something is showing off a part of your personality. You spend days shooting a video and you want it to look as absolutely professional as possible, then that's part of your persona. That's part of who you are. If you want something that's more gritty, if you want something that's more run and gun, if you want something that looks just a little bit less professional, then that's also part of your personality. And that's what you want the editing to do in your videos. You want it to facilitate your personality or your story or both. And you want to make sure that those come out in the style that you edit a video. So there you have it. Those are the 4 things. I feel like if you can get those 4 things down, you can be well on your way to getting 1,000 subscribers and on YouTube. Now, I will say this. There's a couple of other things that I'll add. First of all, this doesn't happen on its own. In other words, you have to make videos and you've got to make them on a regular basis. That's good for your channel and algorithm, and you can look up more videos about that, but it's better for you. It's definitely good for you as the video creator. The more videos you make, the better you will get at those 4 aspects of making a video. You get those things down and you're gonna look at your video and go, oh man, I didn't like that. Get feedback from your friends, from your family, from your readers, from your viewers. Get all the constructive criticism that you can get, because you want to make better videos and it's more difficult to analyze the things that you want to get out of your videos. So when I watch a video, I notice the technical things very clearly to me. So if there are things that are lacking in the technical parts of a video, I'll notice that right away. But if I'm just acting weird on camera, or if something doesn't feel right in the story, or if the video kind of rambles on or whatever, I'm not really as good at detecting that as I am maybe the technical aspects or the pacing of the editing. The technical and the editing are the things that I pick up very clearly. That's maybe just how my mind works. But as far as how I am on camera and so on, like I'm not as good as detecting that. So your viewers, your friends, your family, the people who know you are going to be really good at giving you advice, especially on the persona thing, because they really know you. So they can tell if there's a big delta between who you are and what they see on the camera, and then you can just work on sort of making those two things match. And the repetition, it's like going to the gym, it's like learning a martial art, it's like anything. You've got to do it over and over and over and over, and no one video is going to be perfect. It's all going to get you closer and closer and closer to the thing that you saw in your head, and hopefully eventually you'll get to a point where you can make videos that are pretty close to what you envision and what you actually see on YouTube. There's a really good video or a visualization of this talk called What No One Tells Artists. I'll link to that below. It's just like a minute or two and it's excellent. So if you're a creator in any field, I highly recommend that you watch it. I find it very inspirational and also very insightful. So repetition is the key. If you're going to make a video once a month, it's going to take you longer to get better or to make the kind of videos you want to make, as opposed to if you make 2 or 3 videos a week, then you're going to just sort of improve much faster. The same thing. If you start training for a marathon and you only run once a month, imagine how much better you would be if you could run 3 times a week. So if you can only make one really good video a month, then focus on that. But if you want to improve sort of on a steady basis, then try to make more videos, maybe 1 a week, 2 a week. Get in those repetitions and you're going to get better and better and better. And you might not notice it, but just go back to the videos you made like 6 months, a year, 2 years ago, and you're going to see a huge difference. I guarantee you, if you keep making videos 1 a week at least, you're going to see a big difference between what you were doing just 6 months ago. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you if you're making videos, if you're a travel blogger, if you want to make more travel videos. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the like and hit that subscribe button. I'll have new videos for you every week. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.